If you want to experience coffee in a fun new way at home, I want to show you what coffee cupping is. Even for amateurs, you don't have to be a coffee connoisseur to enjoy this. And I convinced Justin to do this video with me because I thought it would be fun and I thought you might think so too.
Yeah, it is fun.
So tell us.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. What is coffee cupping for anybody that might not know?
Well, it makes a great date.
Yes.
For one.
It's very fun.
Especially if you're into coffee.
Like, think of it like wine tasting, but with coffee.
Yeah, it's designed to help professionals really evaluate coffee, but you can also do it at home. And the nice thing about it is, people do this at coffee farms, they do it at roasteries, and it's so simple and hard to mess up that it really translates across a wide variety of locations, equipment, all that. Very easy to do, very fun way of bringing out tasting notes in coffee and trying to pin them down. And yeah, makes a fun date.
Yeah.
We love doing it together.
Yeah. And I find that it's fun because I would hear you talk about the differences between coffees, and I was never quite sure what he was talking about, but we started doing coffee cupping dates, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, if you can handle the afternoon caffeine.
Yeah.
But tasting them side by side helped me see the differences and find the ones that I really like, and I found it quite fun. And it's a fun way for him to invite me into his world and teach me about what he loves. So if you are not a coffee person, but somebody you love is, this could be a fun thing to do together, to get to know them and get to know their hobby, and I found that I really enjoyed it in the process.
Yeah, or if you're an enthusiast and like you love and live and breathe this stuff, even if you don't cup regularly, number one, try it. But number two, send this video to your partner or the person that you love to hang out with or a friend. You don't have to be romantic partners. You can just be a couple bros sitting around the table doing this too. It's a great way to experiment and discover something new about coffee.
Yeah, totally. And the key is, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
There are professional Q graders that do incredible work. This is just for fun. So we're not going to take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, totally.
But we don't want you to take yourself too seriously. Just have a good time.
Yeah. So the first thing you need is a couple different coffees, and coffee cupping really does best when you have more than one coffee, and the more different they are, actually, the better it is in some ways, because those differences will jump out at you in different ways. And you don't really need any fancy equipment. You can even use pre-ground coffee. Fresh ground is maybe a little bit better, but you don't need a fancy grinder. Whatever grinder you have around, probably going to be fine. You need a couple little bowls. These are kind of funny. These are just like Pampered Chef. What are these called? Like baking dishes? Or
prep cups, I think.
Prep cups?
They're like it's 1 cup worth of volume.
Yeah. So it's like, really, it's just kind of whatever you have around. Like, we feed yogurt to our kids in these in the morning, and then we wash them out.
They don't have to be fancy.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. And you put some coffee in. You need some spoons. You can get these really cool cupping spoons.
Those are fun.
But honestly, you can just use a soup spoon. These are just kind of to make it more fun if you want to do that. A scale you can use. You don't even really need it. If you want to be really precise with this, a scale helps, but you can get by without it, certainly. Timer on your phone is good, and hot water in a kettle. And I think that's basically it.
Okay, so cups, spoons, maybe scale. You do need a timer, and hot water.
And the coffee.
Well, and the coffee,
yes.
And you can use any coffee for this. Like, you could compare it to a grocery store coffee that's pre-ground and a nicer coffee that you might like to try, and compare those. See what the difference is and see what you like or don't.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
Yep. Also, there's a tasting wheel that shows you kind of all the spectrum of flavors that you can get in coffee. So this is a fun thing to use to kind of be tasting and then looking at this thing and being like, what exactly are those kind of flavor mashups in there? This can be really cool.
I really liked this. So this is from the Specialty Coffee Association, and I really liked this because it helped me name what I was tasting.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, it reminds me of something. What does it remind me of? And then I would look at the flavor wheel, and it just helped me name more of what I was tasting.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
So the first thing that we're going to do, this isn't really part of the process, but I always like doing this, is just looking at the different beans and seeing what kind of differences you can pick up. So what do you notice here, dear?
I noticed that these look the most...
Yeah, they got a different look, those ones, right?
These look the smoothest.
Yeah.
And the most even color. Those look kind of wrinkly.
Yep, these two look wrinkly. Some differences with the chaff, that papery stuff in the middle.
And They all have a similar range of sizes, but these two look really similar.
So that smoothness thing, we're going to come back to that. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to be blind for Sarah. Not blind for me, just for the sake of setting up the video. So you could just do 1, 2, and 3, and I'll grind these up.
Yeah, okay. And you can decide to leave all your bags out and know exactly what you're tasting, or you can do blind tasting and, number them and then find out what they were after. Totally up to you.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to smell all of them. And very often the aroma can be actually different than the flavor, the fragrance. Fragrance is dry. Aroma is once you put water in, the smell. And then flavor obviously is when you're spooning it up.
Once the fragrance and the aroma was so much like strawberry, I couldn't wait to taste it. And then it didn't really taste much like strawberry.
Yeah, I remember that
But
one.
it smelled like it.
Yeah. How are these smelling to you?
Like coffee.
Interesting.
This one smells like tomato soup.
I get something very different off that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Reminds me of tomato soup.
Okay, that one. Yeah. So basically, when you're cupping, you want to do a specific ratio, water to coffee. So 1 part coffee to 18 parts water is kind of the guideline. So for these size of cups, they're about 150 mil. I do 8.2 to 8.3 grams of coffee. Now you can totally eyeball it. That is fine too. But if you want to do it to the letter, then that's the way to do it. But
right.
If you also just want to get a tablespoon and grind up a tablespoon of coffee in a dish, you're probably going to be fine.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mostly. Will
Yes.
they? Will they be fine?
They'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, we ready for water?
I think so.
All right. Yep. So I'm just going to fill these up. You want to do it all at the same level. And I'm using water that's heated to about 93 Celsius. And that's about where we want to go to. Again, if you want to be really precise, you can use a scale, but
If people don't have a kettle that has a specific temperature, can they just use boiling water?
just do it a little bit off boil.
Let
Like a
it sit
minute,
for
like a minute off boil
Okay.
or something.
Bring the kettle to a boil, then let it sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, once you start filling these up with water, you want to start a timer on your phone. All right. And now we can start smelling.
This is fun.
I can smell them already.
Yeah, me too. As soon as you started pouring this one, I was like,
There's one of these coffees that I know I've drank it a little bit and I can smell it already. I can pick it out.
have I drank it before?
I don't know.
I'm going to choose a coffee that I'm actually going to drink
Okay.
after this.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to have my second cup today is I'm going to choose which of these I'm going to drink. I don't know what they are though.
Did you smell them?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Now, we can't move them around too much, right?
No, well,
Or does it matter?
you're not really supposed to, but it doesn't
Like, can
matter.
you pick them up and smell them, or you just...
I would do it like this.
Whoa.
Okay.
I really like that.
Okay. Wish I could say I was surprised by that, but this video is actually going to reveal something really funny. We'll leave that. We'll leave that
What
for
do
the
you
end.
mean? Okay.
You'll laugh when I say it. Okay. Interesting. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to make a couple notes here. Actually, I'm going to hide my notes. I feel like we're playing Clue or something. Don't look at my sheet.
Well, I feel like these smell a little bit more traditional. Maybe they're not. Sometimes they taste totally different than they smell.
Yeah.
I really like that one. What is that? Mandarin? Mandarin orange? That one smells like sweet and fruity. These smell a little bit more classic.
Yeah, she doesn't know what the coffees are that we're using. Okay, so once you fill these up, you're gonna basically just let them sit for like 4 minutes. And, you know, some grounds might settle, some grounds might float. And then at the end of the 4 minutes, you do what's called breaking the crust, where you take a spoon and you just try and stir up the top layer, and then it will settle. And then you can smell as you're doing that. I'm actually gonna get you to do that this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got about a minute and a half left.
Cool.
You want to smell more?
Yeah, I do.
What do you get off that one? You get anything specific?
Not really. Smells
Okay.
like coffee.
Okay, that's fine.
That one smells really good.
Okay.
I mean, this smells good too.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting any.
Does
like,
this one smell bad or?
No, this one smells good too. It
Interesting.
just doesn't remind me of anything. It just smells like coffee.
Yeah. Some coffees will have like a really intense presentation in the acidity, and others are, I would say, like earthy, but not in a bad way, like chocolatey, nutty. That's kind of.
So is acidity the fruity smell?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And then those more familiar flavors are when you say it just smells like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the coffee smell. Nutty chocolate. Okay. So we're at about the 4 minute mark. So what you're going to do is you're just going to like 3 kind of gentle swirls to break that crust, and then you're going to smell as you're doing it.
Didn't it already sink to the bottom?
It did, but just we want to do the same thing for all of them. So just don't dig the spoon way in there because you don't want to stir up the bottom. Keep it on the top, but get your nose right in there as I'm
stirring it?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Like this.
Smells like I would really like that coffee.
Yeah, I think you probably would.
Very delicious smelling, like coffee. Okay, and then again. It smells more when I stir it. Like it has a stronger aroma.
Yep, and the last one.
One time, there was a coffee that smelled like a cow barn. Like it actually smelled like a cow barn.
That's not typically a good thing,
happen?
but...
You might be surprised by what you smell.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole range of interesting flavors that you might pick up. So like, if you think something tastes like paper or mold, it's possible.
It's possible.
These smell really nice. None of them smell
these are all great.
wacky. Okay, hold on. I love this smell.
Okay.
Am I gonna like the taste?
Now we'll see.
Oh,
this video is going to be funnier than I thought. Okay. So
this is 1 and this is 3?
This is 3.
This is 3.
I went in their order.
Okay.
So they're going to see this left to right. So once you break the crust, you want to let it sit actually for a lot longer than you would think, like up to 10 minutes or so. And that will allow, all the flavor to kind of equalize, that coffee to infuse to the proper strength, but try and not get tasting until that point. All right, so we're at about the 10-minute mark. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skim these off. And this is just really to get rid of any kind of little floating bits that might be left on the top after it's all settled. So I'm just going to stick both my spoons in there. I'm going to kind of wrap them around, try and capture everything that might be on the top. And then I'm just going to rinse them off.
And then we're not getting the little gritty grounds into our mouth.
Yeah. So now you can taste. Now, the way that you're going to do this is you're just going to dip your spoon in. You're not going to like try and take a scoop. You're just going to try and press your spoon into the top, let a little bit of coffee flow into the spoon. And
like soup?
Yeah, like soup. And then you're just going to lift it and you can try a slurp.
Yeah.
Or you can just drink it, whatever you want.
Okay, now wait, there's a proper way to like slurp the coffee into your mouth. So like you spray it on all the taste buds in your tongue so you get a range of flavor.
It like sprays it up in your olfactory.
Yeah, just don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this wrong. So everyone who knows that I'm doing it wrong, you can just laugh at me. This is for fun. And when you're enjoying this at home,
this is just fun.
Don't take yourself too seriously and just have some fun.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you want to do first? This is still
I kind of want you to go first.
This is number 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I swallowed some air.
Oh, did you?
I can feel it.
No, that's fine. That was a pretty good slurp.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be breathing in air. I mean, I shouldn't swallow air.
I know what you're saying.
I like it.
Okay, good. That's good. All right, next one.
Ooh, one's brighter.
They're all pretty light.
That one tastes like earthy to me.
I know what you mean. Coffee people will hear that as like a negative. That's not a negative. It's just grounded, familiar.
It's fine.
Right?
I'm doing this as an amateur, and that tastes earthy to me. Yeah, but in like a
positive
good way. Yeah.
Like grounded, familiar, right?
Grounded, familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is grounded the language you use for like a good familiar?
Well, what does it say? Where would you put it on the tasting wheel?
Probably nutty cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nutty cocoa. This one too. No, but there's something else in there.
Let's try the last one.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna.
This was the one I loved the smell of. Will it taste how it smells? I think it tastes peachy.
Okay.
There's a fruitiness to it. What fruit is that?
I'm gonna go across the
Is
same.
it peach? Stone fruit?
That is nice. Yep. This one is more acidity forward than I expected.
Also, you can use a spit cup if you don't want the caffeine, but they totally grossed me out.
This is really funny. Like, this is something when you see pros doing this, they'll very often have a spit cup because they do like several rounds of cupping in a day.
I don't want to be drinking coffee all day.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes I'll do that And
totally grosses me out.
Yeah, it's like you get like a cocktail shaker and you just like spit and it's just too much.
So we just do this when we can handle a little caffeine boost, but you can decide what you want to do. And there is like a really professional, polished way to use a spit cup that you're still learning.
Thanks, dear. That's an honest answer.
Like it didn't gross me out when we were in Guatemala. And
I think silence is part of the...
Silence is part of the...
Still learning to master that particular skill. All right. This is interesting. The center one is surprising me.
I really like the center one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Nutty cocoa cinnamon. Is it cinnamony? Cinnamon?
I could see that. I actually get a little bit of that off this last one. Like a little bit of spiciness.
Yeah, there's a kick to it.
Oh, that's quite nice, actually. That one I'm really enjoying.
This one I'm not sure what I'm tasting, but it like is obviously different from the other. Is when I like to pull out the flavor wheel and see like what direction am I leaning here? Is it fruity? Is it floral? Is it sweet? Is it nutty? What spices do you taste? Or does it remind you of? There's no spices in it, obviously. That's actually something that people ask me a lot. Like, are tasting notes the flavors that are in it? Like, there's no flavor added to the coffee. Yeah. It's just what it reminds you of. Yep. As in the same way of what does a wine remind you of, or what does a olive oil remind you of?
Okay, I think I have my notes.
I like this one.
Yeah.
It's not as traditional as I usually go for.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's like fruit. I maybe do taste the mandarin, or there's like stone fruit or something like fruity. Yeah. And bright in that.
I get really strong peach off this one. It's almost like it's like peach, but with like creamsicle. Like if there was like a peach creamsicle.
Oh, maybe that's why it's pulling me orangey way.
Yeah, it's like I really get that like that creamsicle flavor, but not in the orange zone, more in the peach zone on this one. But it's for me, it's really strong peach I get on this one.
I like it. I'm finding these two to be quite similar.
Yeah, these two are interesting.
Which is interesting because these beans looked the most similar. Yeah. Right? These beans look very different.
Yeah. This one I do get a lot of chocolate, nuts, but also there is like, is it like clementine almost? Or tangerine maybe?
I don't think I taste tangerine.
There's some...
there's something bright about it.
Yeah, there is an acidity to it that is quite nice. And then this one is like, it's more of a intensity. This number one over here. Yeah, it's definitely more of an intensity. I would say like ripe tropical fruits.
Like a tang? It's tangy?
Yeah, but it's like thick and syrupy, like ripe, like sticky ripe.
Yeah, it's got a good consistency.
Yeah, it's something in like the roasted spice section. So it's not really like anise or clove, maybe a little malt, maybe a little tobacco-y, like a backwoods, malty. Like a backwoods, just a little bit.
I would drink any of these at first.
Yeah, which one are you gonna choose?
I'm going between these two.
Well, that's interesting because you're really leaning to this one strongly.
Yeah, I loved the smell of it. And I do like that one. Yeah. I would drink either. I would drink all three. Do
you want to look? Do you want to look at the coffees and then decide, or do you want to decide before you look?
Interesting. Do I get to know the coffees now?
Yeah. I mean, we can share what they are.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the three coffees that we have. This one is from Phil and Sebastian, all Canadian roasters here, and this is a natural geisha coffee. So traditionally very floral, very unique presentation of the acidity. Natural means it's dried first with the fruit on it. And that roundness that you noticed on the bean is because it was naturally processed. That's where that came from.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it looked very smooth and whole.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, rounded corners, all that, very common. This one from Rosso Coffee Roasters, it's Colombia, single origin, lighter roast, but still on the familiar end of the spectrum flavor-wise. And this last one here, number 3, is from September Coffee Roasters.
I always love September coffees.
Yeah, Kyle and Natasha are doing great work. And this is Letty Bermudez, a washed, I think it's a double anaerobic.
Peach candy.
Geisha, yeah, peach candy. They have oolong tea and floral on here, which I can see that. It really gives me creamsicle vibes for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Peachsicle.
Yeah, it's like
creamsicle.
it's like a peachsicle. That's kind of what I get off of this one. Great coffee. And yeah, do these guys have tasting notes on here? Vanilla, sweetness, milk chocolate. They have tangerine on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is something there that's like, what did I say? Clementine? I put it a little bit closer to. And then this one is also anaerobic, but natural.
So
lychee, papaya. Yeah.
What makes these two taste similar? Because they sound like very different.
Yeah, and they are very different. To me, I would say they're a little bit more different. I don't think I would necessarily say that.
I just thought they were similar.
This one is, I get a lot more intense presentation on the fruitiness and sweetness.
Definitely.
This one, I get more chocolate, like a little nutty, vanilla, that nice like sparkle of acidity on this one. And then this one is just really unique. This one is kind of like an orange fruit smoothie.
Interesting. I wouldn't have said that.
Or like
now I'm tasting it different, knowing
like
what it is.
Like a yellow. Yeah, that's how that hits me. It's like a tropical fruit smoothie kind of to me.
Tropical, yeah. I like it. I feel like I can taste the lychee. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
It's like a specific. I can see it. That's funny that I find those similar. They're really
it is.
Not, but there's something about them.
There is something there that's tying them together.
Yeah.
But they're
fruit,
actually quite different.
Yeah, I think they taste similar to me.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So if people want to do this for a date, any tips from the non-coffee crazy person?
I think my only tip is don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Be open-minded and just ask yourself, what does this remind me of?
Yeah.
Think about what it reminds you of. And sometimes it's just going to taste like coffee, and that's okay too.
Yeah. And I think if you are an enthusiast, just release some of that pressure of like doing it right and just have fun. Like, don't turn it into a class for whoever you're doing it with.
Unless they like that.
Unless they want that.
Unless they want to like know all the information.
Yeah. But it just is, it's an interesting way to experience coffee together. We do this semi-regularly together. You know, when we get a new batch of coffee in and we're trying it out, we'll line them up and kind of take our notes. And it's kind of a fun little thing to do together.
Yeah,
even if the kids are running
fun.
Around and it's crazy town. It still is fun.
Well, if we do this and the kids are running around, it's actually harder to taste the coffee when you're like doing crowd control. But
what were we doing the other day? Were we making a turkey dinner and we decided to do this and it just smelled like everything smelled like turkey?
Oh yeah, we were cooking a turkey. We couldn't really smell the coffee.
Probably not the best time.
Because all we could smell was the turkey. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope this is fun. I hope this is something that you try at home and just kind of lowers the bar for what you need to do in order to enjoy this experience and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. And, we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I love to learn about the differences between the coffees, and then I appreciate them so much more when I'm having a cup of coffee and I'm reminded of something. It's just fun.
Yeah.
What was it that you were going to say this video reveals about me?
So it's interesting. Like, I put this here because I thought for sure this is going to be the one that you would gravitate to because it's the most familiar. So Sarah will say, I only want basic. I like simplest coffee, familiar flavor, classic. And she's like, I don't want any of that fancy, expensive stuff. Like, don't bother me with that. I don't need that. And then anytime we do this, surprise, what coffees does she lean to?
The fancy,
the most expensive ones on the table. And sure enough, those two were the ones that you were leaning to. So I thought that was really funny. And
that one was really good.
Yes.
The peach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't think you were actually going to like either of these outside ones. I thought,
really?
Yeah. I thought they would be too weird, too intense for you. I thought you were just going to stick in the middle and be like, yeah, that's my jam. And the other, I didn't think you were actually going. But here we are. Once again.
I feel like for consistency, this is the cup that I need to have next.
Interesting. All right. Well, we hope your next cup of coffee is fantastic. We hope this video was helpful, and we'll see you on the next one.